You're listening to The Burning Truth. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, dudettes. I am one half of the host of The Burning Truth, and with me is the other half, none other than John Below.
And he is Matt Burns. Together, collectively, we are The Burning Truth. This is your weekly dose of our opinions on the world of pro wrestling, and rest assured...
And other subjects.
Other subjects... sometimes linked, sometimes tangentially linked, sometimes not linked at all to pro wrestling, but that's kind of the mainstay of what we talk about.
Correct, but then again, in case you're wondering, yes, last week's episode was a pre-recorded one, and yes, it was almost a bit of a back to TBT.
A throwback, yes. Because we were both, in our busy schedules, otherwise engaged, but we wanted you to have something to listen to.
Correct. In case you were wondering, before we get on to it, in case you're wondering, I was at FCW, attending the FCW show Beyond the Bagadome, and you had
I had some family engagements,
which I'll just get this out the way. FCW Beyond the Bagadome, absolutely amazing show. Really fun to call. It was a bit of a unique one because normally I have Stephen Keane at past shows, but lately he's been drafted over to the roster. So congratulations to Stephen Keane. And in his place, as a replacement for because the previous week, the previous month's show was basically myself, and at times with the odd special guest now and again. However, in the last show, Beyond the Bagadome, throughout most of the show, I actually had none other than Big Rich with me.
Awesome. Trust me, I've had to Joey Styles a commentary on a pay-per-view event before. It's not easy, so I don't envy you that, but Big Rich is a more than capable fellow commentator, so you did all right there.
We did not too bad. I can also say the action was high-paced, high action. One I would recommend everyone checking out once they have actually got them all available for you, because I believe there have been talks of making a possible streaming service or some form of service to be able to watch them potentially. But I could be getting ahead of myself.
Hint. Turnbuckle TV, cough, hint, let's hope, but it might not be, and we'll let you know more details as they emerge.
Correct. But anyway, let's just get straight to business before we even continue on to the main topics. Warning disclaimer for strong, some of the language that we may have on the episode may be unsuitable for younger listeners. And I will now, instead of me actually finishing the rest off, I'm going to pass over to my colleague.
The following broadcast may contain rants and opinions not suitable for those averse to strong language and with weak stomachs, and may also contain potential opinions not suitable for other viewers. This program may also contain strobe lighting effects.
And the language may be turned very, very blue.
Essentially, we may turn the air bluer than...
The Blue Meanie?
Well, I was going to say something to do with porn, because technically they're called blue films, aren't they? But that's just lowering the tone unnecessarily. Anyway, the point is, good Lord above, there's lots for us to rant about, so the soapbox will be out plenty, and there may very well, in fact, who am I kidding, there will be some strong language.
Yes. As you all may already know, yes, we have already covered NXT TakeOver Portland.
Everything that WWE does right.
Yay!
And now we have to cover everything that WWE doesn't do right.
Right.
In the form of Super Showdown. Now, I would just like to point out, we don't, on this broadcast, try and be sensational for the sake of it. We don't try and tear WWE a new ring piece just because it garners ratings. We genuinely try and be positive, but sometimes, my God, the material they give us to work with is thin on the ground. And Super Showdown was just one example. So yeah, we may not be our shining sunshine selves today because, frankly, this show deserves ripping at least 3 separate new arseholes, and I'm sure we're going to do it over the course of the next hour or so.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So if you have seen it, commiserations, to be brutally honest, and if you haven't, for the first time in a long time, I'm honestly going to say, don't bother pausing this to go and watch it. Just take our word for it. Seriously, you're not missing anything.
Right. And to also point out, because some of the information that we are going to be throwing out quite quickly, because this is part of the road to WrestleMania, we are going to be talking about a recent pay-per-view, which only happened, I believe, on February 27th. 2020, yes. And we may have to cover a bit of SmackDown, which we don't normally do usually.
We don't usually do, but we may have to today, and so we may also, going forward, allude to things that may be happening at Elimination Chamber next weekend and WrestleMania next month, which may or may not constitute the term spoilers. So consider yourself warned for that as well. I mean, everything's a spoiler if you haven't seen Super Showdown, but frankly, the show was such a pile of dog shit, I don't think we care on that front. But as far as Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania predictions and things go, we might give you a few spoilers. We don't mean to, but you have been warned.
Before we get to WWE and we start ranting...
Because believe me, we will.
I'm going to cover one piece of news, which is to do with the UKWA.
Awesome news. Always like to hear that.
Right. There is a video footage that is going to be released tomorrow, which is in regards to the King of the Kingdom Championship. Now, unfortunately, we originally stated that on the end of the night of the last show, it was meant to be getting retired.
I see.
However, I was unable to acquire said championship from the champion at the time, none other than Charles Kelsey, who was dubbing himself the champ.
What you're basically saying is you weren't able to get the physical championship belt back from Charles Kelsey in order to retire it. He still got it, and he's still claiming to be double champ. Is that right?
Had it.
Oh, I see.
I do actually have it firmly in my grasp, but in case anybody wants to know how that occurred, please check out the video that is releasing tomorrow on the UKWA YouTube channel, and possibly on their Facebook channel as well, as we will be releasing it out on there for video as well.
Epic.
But let's get one thing straight with it. That championship is now officially retired for the current time being. I will state it's been fought over many times. It's been fought over in battles, wars, and hopefully I want to be able to myself personally, I've acquired the championship belt. Potentially give it some love, give it some, it's had a good journey so far.
It will be kept lovingly in the UKWA Museum, currently the office in Matt Burns' house, also known as the downstairs toilet.
No.
But it will be kept and loved and cherished, and potentially the name may be... Well, the name is still a copyright of UKWA, so we may use it again in the future, or we may not. It depends. I say we. I am the commentator. Matt Burns, the owner of UKWA, may use it in the future.
One half owner, if you recall.
Yes, I was trying not to mention that because I thought it might be a bit of a sore point. But yes, okay, one half owner.
Yeah, still haven't found out who the other half is yet.
Well, not sure what I can add to that, really. Oh, just before we get on to the huge soapbox of WWE as well, would just like to, quick disclaimer, yes, We are aware of wrestling outside of the UK and WWE. We are aware that AEW Revolution happened this past week. We'll mention it in the coming weeks when one of us has had time to actually watch it, because we don't think it'd be fair to do a rundown of a show we haven't seen.
Correct. And it's not just that. I would prefer it if we were able to give a full feedback in regards to the show itself once we have watched it. Yes, I understand that, we are meant to be aiming to watch it, because at the same time, I've also been wrestling myself as well separately. So before we get on to WWE news, let's just stick to British wrestling news. A bit up and down.
Yeah.
Depending on who you are. Up because
yes.
I was wrestling for United
Hooray!
Wrestling. For United Wrestling, who have changed their venue slightly. It's not too far from the original venue. They actually have a bit of a change of venue due to unknown circumstances.
Circumstances beyond their control. Yeah,
correct. I will state the crowd did come out quiet in numbers, cheering everybody on, and I ended up having a 6-man tag match, with myself, Baby Joe, and the returning Ronan against AWOL.
Good Lord.
I will say this: AWOL have been they've got like a bit of a love-hate relationship with the Myats, and in this case, it was like they'd been listening to the Myats. I'll say this: they've been a quick study of the Myats.
Ah.
Yes, you pretty much. I gathered you already gathered what I was referring to there.
I believe I have, but just spell it out for the folks at home, just in case they haven't.
Swift kick.
Ah, yes, you're talking about the title of the Robbie Williams song from his first and, in my opinion, best solo album. And that, of course, the title of the song, not the album, is, of course, South of the Border.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Back heel as well.
In the old kahoonies, as I believe they say.
Yeah, back heel, and then as they pretty much called it, I can't remember what they called it. All I know is even the Young Bucks don't have much on them. Triple team super kick.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Who was the recipient of that? Because
who do you think?
Does it possibly, potentially rhyme with Bat Mearns?
Yeah.
Ouch. Quick question.
Yeah.
How many days after it did you wake up?
I did wake up in the ring after, the count had happened. I was pretty much dazed, confused. But I knew I'd been cheap-shotted.
I bet you did. I bet you were talking in falsetto for the rest of the week.
I bet livid was the word I was. Livid.
Yes, I can imagine.
But
so
anyway,
you've been to that show. You had a match. You were at Florida Championship Wrestling. I hope you're getting some bloody good air miles for all these
Future
trips.
Championship Wrestling.
And you did commentary there with Big Rich. Where else have you been? Anywhere else?
This was the previous week. And genuinely checking out talent and looking forward to future shows. Like a certain one that is coming up soon, in fact, if I'm not mistaken. Being none other than Academy Pro Wrestling has got a show. Wolfen Pro Wrestling has got a show. And Pro Wrestling for You has got a show.
Busy boy then. Yeah, no wonder you don't always have time.
Unfortunately, I can't attend all three of them.
No, I figured not. Let me guess, are they all on the same weekend in very disparate parts of the country?
Yep.
Yeah, that's unfortunate planning on their part, but you are not capable of, cell mitosis. You physically can't be in two places at once, so that's nobody's fault, really.
Pretty much.
Right. But they're upcoming. We've covered what you've done.
Yep.
If you've possibly stopped to sit down long enough to get your breath back, have you got your soapbox ready? Because I think we should get on with
It's already ready.
dissecting
Right.
the fetid corpse of Super Showdown.
Right, and just to point out, ladies and gentlemen, this will be a bit of a short, we are going to be aiming to be as short as possible, even though we are ranting, but we are going to try to keep the rants to a damn well minimum.
Yeah, well, basically, yes. This is us, so don't count your chickens on any front, but the aim is to invoke the old Jerry the King Lawler commentary cliche. We're going to keep our words short and sweet in case we have to eat them later.
Which, I'll be honest with you, I don't think I am going to be eating them.
I very much doubt either of us are, to be honest, but, just in case.
Right.
Anyway, let's get
underway. Right, we have which is the pre-show match. The OC versus the Viking Raiders.
Yes. Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
No kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding. The match ended up being 10 minutes long, with the OC defeating the Viking Raiders.
Yeah, fairly standard for a pre-show match, but why?
The OC defeating the Viking Raiders.
Yeah.
Why is the Viking Raiders against the OC? Isn't the Viking Raiders meant to be feuding with Seth Rollins, Murphy, and AOP?
You would have thought so, wouldn't you? Yes, but hey, this is WWE. When does logic ever come into anything?
Possibly.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Only when WWE want it to. And when they don't, it gets absolutely kicked to the curb faster than you can say.
Yeah. And you ready for this? You think AOP would cost the Viking Raiders the match? No,
yes.
It doesn't happen. It happens because, quite literally, Ivar attempted a moonsault on Anderson. The latter, he moved out the way, tagged in Gallus, and a magic killer happened.
I see.
So, hang on. Clean win.
Clean win.
Clean finish.
Yeah. Like I said, how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah. Great. And
not
if I'm not mistaken,
a stellar start either, to be honest.
If I'm not mistaken, the OC, yes, they are still going to be around for quite a bit of time. Haven't they been not doing much lately?
Well, yeah, they basically... Let me see if I can swiftly surmise the OC in the last 18 months in WWE. Big pile of nothing, big pile of nothing, big pile of nothing. Won an otherwise meaningless tournament to be crowned apparently the best tag team in the world. Big pile of nothing, big pile of nothing. I think that pretty much nails it.
Yeah. And let's get on to the first main match.
Oh, dear God. I nearly gave up after this. I really did.
The gauntlet match for the...
I believe the correct pronunciation is the two-way trophy, which gives it slightly bizarre pornographic overtones. I don't believe you pronounce the Q.
Is it two-way?
Two-way. The Q is at the end, so I believe it is either two-wake or just two-way. Michael Cole, ever the arbiter of knowing about things, didn't pronounce the Q. So I'm going with that because I'm sure he'd have had someone bellowing in his ear, pronounce it right, if he hadn't. So, I'm going with two-way trophy because that doesn't sound in any way pornographic.
5 matches.
Well,
under this
technically,
gauntlet.
In this gauntlet, yes. 4 of them.
1, 2, 3, 4... Yeah, 5, yeah.
Yeah, 4
under
of them featuring R-Truth.
Yeah. No, 3. Is it? Yes, 4. R-Truth starting off with Bobby Lashley. If that's not a missed pair...
I fell asleep there. Yeah, what? Yeah.
If that's not a missed pair, I don't know what is. Lashley.
That's not a horrible clash of everything that results in horrible boring wrestling. Oh wait, no, that is what it is. That's exactly
Yeah.
what happened.
And how did the
Not
match
to mention
happen?
the fact that I had to go back and rewind because I happened to nip for a quick bathroom break, and I had to rewind nearly 5 minutes of Lashley continuing to mercilessly beat the shit out of R-Truth after he'd been disqualified. A fact that I didn't realise until I heard the commentators mention it.
Yep.
What the hell was that for?
Yep.
Well, no, I understand the theory of what it was for, but why was it 5 minutes, not one devastating powerbomb? It's not like they didn't need, it's not like they needed to fill the time.
Right, so then Andrade comes out and you're thinking, oh, that's why.
Yes.
The US
to help
champion.
the US champ to easily turn over the battered and bruised R-Truth, you think. Not on your fucking life. R-Truth and Andrade.
Yeah.
Another two whose styles did not mesh in the slightest.
And Andrade must be in serious trouble, or if this was a genuine mess-up, what the hell?
Yeah, no idea what was going on there.
At one point, it's like, oh, going to go for this move, going for that move, and then they somehow accidentally headbutted each other. Andrade was down, and R-Truth fell on top?
Yeah, I very much doubt that was planned.
Right,
but if it wasn't, I have no idea what was planned. But Jesus, what a fustercluck.
Right. So, Lashley lost by a quick roll-up.
Yeah.
Andrade's lost
by getting fallen on top of. And somehow we've got to endure a third R-Truth match on pay-per-view, which is equal to his entire pay-per-view output, I think, for the last 8 years.
Wait. I was fine with this.
Fair play to the guy getting some airtime. No problem with that. Except,
Eric
who came out next?
Eric Rowan.
All 320 pounds of big, ginger-bearded nutjob Eric Rowan.
How heavy did you think?
320?
That's fine. That's fine.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, you think... no disrespect to R-Truth, but he's had a fair go. Quick powerbomb and a pin. Good night. Thanks for coming, R-Truth.
Or a claw slam. Game over.
No.
No.
Wrong. How dare you think so logically, you foolish sucker who's paid for the WWE network.
Yep. What happened?
I forget exactly what happened.
I remember it vividly.
The uptake was R-Truth won again.
Right.
Oh yeah, he got disqualified, didn't he?
Do you know why he got disqualified?
Was it for use of the ring steps?
Yes, one.
Was it for use of that cage probably just got a cat in it, but no one wants us to know?
Basically, R-Truth had accidentally knocked the cage, which supposedly upset everyone. You hurt my friend! And he decided to disqualify himself and lose his chance at the amazing trophy.
Yeah, because
we'll get to in a minute.
His feelings hurt. Oh, you mean the hugely expensive piece of cheaply moulded glass that looked like it cost about 20 quid?
It looked more like a bunch of lollipop sticks got stuck together.
Whatever it was, yeah, expensive and prestigious, it did not
look.
No.
But anyway... It looked like someone just got some lollipop sticks and then stuck a light under.
Yes. Up next came AJ Styles, at which point the crowd picked up a bit because they were like, hey, it's AJ Styles. And then they sunk again because they were like, oh, Jesus.
Is it with R-Truth?
What way is WWE going to come up with for R-Truth to beat AJ?
It doesn't happen.
Thank the living shit for that.
AJ Styles was entertaining as hell at this moment.
Yes. AJ at his absolute best.
Dancing, kicking the mud hole out of R-Truth, and then sealing the deal with the calf crusher.
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful. No offence, R-Truth. Thank you. You've done stellar service, but good night. P.S.
So AJ Styles...
Never wear the red shorts again. What's wrong with you?
He's going to be wearing them for a while. And don't forget his homage to John Cena.
Oh, is that what it is?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because John Cena, world famous for wearing red ring gear.
Well, he does wear red. And if you remember, because he did get told he would look like a Fruity Pebble.
Yeah, because jeans, universally and obviously all red. Whatever. WWE logic.
Let's move
That's
on.
not
Let's
the
move
issue
on.
here.
Let's
Up next, in the match,
we think originally Rey Mysterio
was
Now,
supposed to be Rey Mysterio.
Before we get there, originally Samoa Joe was in this match.
Yes. What happened to him?
Yeah. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Just
Samoa
for the
Joe-
sake of anyone that may have their head in a rock, under a rock in a cave on Mars, please explain why Samoa Joe was not in this match.
suspended.
Wellness policy violation?
Yep.
Hang on. I'm just looking at Samoa Joe's physique. It's not going to be steroids. He doesn't strike me as the kind of person who smokes weed, so it's not the Matt Riddle influence. What the bloody hell was it?
Basically, it's just a wellness policy. That's all they've stated.
Okay. Basically, it's 15 years of TNA matches means he's probably a little bit on the Nigel McGuinness side.
He's probably got a few aches and pains, or
Banged up. Yeah.
he's probably had an illness, not realised it. For certain people who have been caught out by the wellness policy, it's been due to a certain substance that they didn't know was on the list, and might have been either caught out by it, or they might not have been, they might have missed a certain,
Yeah.
What?
Including, if you're a regular watcher of NXT, according to Matt Riddle,
Yeah.
the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic trophy. Which is why he and Pete Dunne aren't bringing it with them to the ring anymore. Because apparently it partied a little bit too hard after they won the titles, failed a wellness policy, and is out for 30 days.
Nice touch there.
Yes. That,
Anyway.
however, that little jokey aside makes infinitely more sense than everything we've seen so far in bloody...
Oh, it gets worse.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, Samoa Joe is out due to the wellness policy, so as you know, they use rigmarole, 30 days,
Yeah.
yada, yada, yada. But anyway, so we're now waiting for Rey Mysterio to come down.
Who's had his music played twice, by the way, and not
And
appeared.
AJ Styles is smiling.
Yes. Never a good sign.
Right?
For those who have put two and two together here, yes, exactly what you think happened is what happened.
Video goes to the back. The OC
Rey Mysterio
viciously...
is lying on the floor getting the boots of people we can't see because they're off camera, routinely put in his face.
Yeah, and then it zooms out. Oh, it's the OC, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson.
What a non-surprise. Okay,
Yes.
Ray is not in the match. Q AJ demanding to have his hand raised.
Yes.
And Q...
The referee... Wait. The referee says, I cannot do that unless I have to give your opponent...
Your opponent
a
has to
chance."
have to the count of 10 to come to the ring.
Why didn't he say Ray?
Well, yeah, but why did he say to the count of 10, which... essentially, my problem with this whole thing is him not saying Ray and saying your opponent left the door open for, my God, I hope the Saudis paid you well for this shite, his secret extra final opponent, but also, the count of 10, bastard's entrance took 8 minutes.
Wait. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... Cue the video.
Out go all the lights.
No.
Oh, God, no, it's Bray
No,
Wyatt. Jesus.
no, it's not. Cue the video. To seeing... Oh, wait. Luke Gallows on the floor? Mysterio missing? And then Carl Anderson coming flying in from God knows where. No idea what made him be slammed like how he was.
Nope, no clue at all.
For then some... boots, certain bottoms that we've seen before, and a jacket.
Ooh, I wonder who that could possibly be.
At which point, we're at the count of 8, by the way.
Yeah. So at which point, before Luke Gallows' head has hit the floor, the referee's counted to 10 and this match is over.
You think? The referee stopped counting.
Of course he does, because he's mesmerised, wondering if
Who
it is
could that
the
be?
long-awaited return of Gilbert in that trench coat.
Nope, it is cue the gong. The Undertaker.
Out all the lights. It's the Undertaker. It's, to borrow a phrase first levelled by Joey Styles at Mr. Mike Awesome at ECW One Night Stand 2005. I hope you kept the money.
Right.
I don't know how much the Saudis paid him for that appearance, but yeah.
You ready? He arrived. Yay!
Like I said, about 8 minutes after the music started, he sauntered into the ring in usual traditional Undertaker fashion.
And it makes it even worse is the fact that the reason he has replaced Rey Mysterio was that they are claiming that Mysterio being injured by the OC.
Yes.
Right, so
because, when you see a small, nimble, mask-wearing Mexican luchador injured by nefarious heels, the ideal like-for-like replacement that any sane, rational human being would immediately think of would be 6'10" of Texan Deadman.
Right, so anyway, he comes down. Right, I don't even think the bell had even rang at one point. I'm thinking, so what's going on? Right, he gets in the ring. He choke slams.
No, hang on, you missed the comedy gold. After Captain No Shit Sherlock Styles shouts audibly, "You're not my opponent."
Yep.
Really? Do you think the penny hadn't dropped on that one, AJ? I know wrestling fans are thick, but Jesus, we'd work that out.
Yep.
Yeah. At which point, incredibly sloppy looking chokeslam.
Yep.
Good night, Vienna.
And Taker pins him.
Yep.
1, 2, 3 to win the trophy.
Which he then completely ignores.
Wait. All the while, still keeping his damn hat on.
Yeah, he's never taken his hat off, much less his coat. Fundamentally ignores the trophy, walks back up the ramp.
Now,
thank you.
What makes it worse is with this.
Where's my check?
He looks at the trophy. Why didn't he take it with him? Was he going to pick it up on? I was just thinking to myself, whoever wins this, are they wheeling it up with them? Are they picking it up under his arm? Are they carrying it?
Undertaker instead chose to completely no-sell the trophy, as was probably the best course of action, and just do his usual exit.
Walk out.
One arm up, paused on the stage before he leaves, and everyone, collective sigh of relief. Thank God that's over. Oh God, no. Now what's next?
We've now got the tag team match for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championship.
Featuring
Right.
your reunited, even though when they separated 10 years ago, they fell out and had a big fight. But yeah, don't let logic get in the way. This is Super Showdown. Miz and John Morrison facing off against the, at last count, 653-time tag team champions, The New Day.
Yep. This, I think, was my match of the night.
Seriously, incredibly low bar, but fair point.
No. Actually, my mistake. No, it wasn't. I knew it was a tag team match. It was the Raw ones that was the match of the night. My apologies.
Fair
my
enough.
apologies. Although, I will state, Kofi Kingston, what the hell are you doing taking bumps like that?
Yeah. I don't know, but sanity was not involved.
Off the side.
And I don't mean the former NXT faction either when I say sanity.
Yeah. Right.
Anyway, this match came and went in a blizzard of god-awful bumps and not very good teamwork from the, frankly, not very good team of The Miz and John Morrison before, oh look, new tag champs. Hooray!
13 minutes and 15 seconds later.
Yes. To the joy and unhideable delight of the Miz's dad and probably no one else.
Right. Actually, I'm happy about it.
Really? Why?
Yeah. Because it's off the New Day. It's off a team that has been dominating the tag team division on SmackDown, either them or Usos.
Well, yeah, there is that. But that just means that title reign number 8 for a reinvigorated New Day, once again featuring Xavier Woods when he's fit, is not far away around the corner.
True, and but there could be other angles possibly being built up for it to stop that potentially.
Who cares? I mean, anyway, fair enough. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on.
Let's move on to the next match. Wait, this match,
singles match for No One Cares.
Angel Garza
against Humberto Carrillo. Two guys WWE have got and do not know what to do with.
They've had this match twice on Raw.
Yep.
What was the result?
That was it. Exactly the same result as at Super Showdown.
So, 3 times Angel Garza has beaten Humberto Carrillo.
Yeah, every single time the match has barely got out of second gear. Every single time, no one cares, and the law of diminishing returns means no one cares a little bit less every time.
And what makes it so weird is these pair can go. They can legit go in the ring.
Yes. Not that WWE apparently actually want to let them in case, they might steal the show or something.
I felt as though they had more on Raw than on the event, than on this pay-per-view.
Possibly. I didn't see the Raw matches, but you'd probably not be too far from the truth.
Legit. And I feel as though this might have been told, don't be as good. We need you to be possibly bring them down a little bit.
Yes, possibly. Which is quite possibly one of the most retarded decisions. One of many retarded decisions WWE made this evening.
Yeah.
Speaking of which...
Wait. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Do you know what match is happening on Raw next week?
Is it Angel Garza against Jordan Devlin for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship?
Nope.
No, of course not. That'd be different and sensible and vaguely logical. Are those two fighting for the 80th time?
It's a tag team match, Pelea.
Oh, wonderful. Angel Garza and Eeny, Meeny, Miny. Of course, heel Mexican, yes. Against Humberto Carrillo, hang on, face Mexican. Rey Mysterio, who will magically be healed from his injuries?
Yep.
Oh, Jesus. I wasn't being serious.
I know.
Oh, by the way, I've just had a brain fart. I've just had a thought of something. Before we move on to the Raw Tag Team Championship match.
Yeah.
I've got to mention it, and I'm simply going to say the 3 words without any further judgment, and then leave some dead air, and we'll move on.
Yeah.
But they have to be mentioned.
Yeah.
Jack Gallagher's tattoo. Okay, it's out there. I try my best not to be critical, I really do, but...
Okay. That's fine. Moving on.
I take it you don't have an opinion either.
Let's move on.
Let's move swiftly on. While we were talking about cruiserweights, which we're not anymore, because...
No. Back to...
recently bereft of a name in the never going to not be irritating WWE fashion... Apparently he's not anyone's buddy anymore. He's just Murphy.
He's not your buddy, pal! Sorry, yeah. I had to do the South Park thing.
Just Murphy now, apparently. And his tag team partner, Rollins.
No. The Monday Night Messiah.
Rollins.
Seth Rollins.
Yeah, because he gets to keep his first name, because he's not a nobody.
Right? It makes it even worse. It makes this
Go
even
on.
worse. Somebody, because of the whole Monday Night Messiah, has
Yeah.
been kicking off, stating, "That's actually my idea that they've stolen."
Somebody else on Monday Night Raw?
Who's no longer working for WWE.
All right, okay. Hang on. Do they currently work for AEW?
Nope.
Not who I thought it was. Okay, who is it?
Can you remember, and this is a while back, is it Abraham Washington? Or Washington Abraham?
Abraham. Oh, the flash in the pan, blink and you'll miss it. Person who was he a manager or was he a commentator or was he a bit of everything? And then they didn't really know what to do with him, and so they chucked him out the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's stating it's supposedly one of his ideas, but
well, since he's on WWE and has a platform on Monday Night Raw, why doesn't he challenge Seth Rollins to a match for the rights to the name? Oh, wait. Hang on a minute. No, he's not, so he can shut up and get back in his box.
right.
Anyway, Raw Tag Team Championships. Seth
Versus
Rollins and Murphy versus Angelo and Montez. Collectively, profits.
the Street Profits.
Oh, come on, WWE's making everything monosyllable, one word, so I'm just doing it for them.
I think they'd have to add the word streets in, because if they were just called the Profits, I think that would be hitting the nose that WWE are aiming for too much.
And if they were just called the Streets, Mike Skinner might sue them.
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway.
they'd have to enter to his music.
Absolutely. Enter to fit, but you know it, and just do a homosexuality angle. I don't know where I was going with that.
God!
Let's sweep that under the rug and move swiftly on.
That never happened. Good Lord, let's move on.
Right,
This
anyway,
match,
this match
I thought was match of the night.
perfectly acceptable, and therefore, so far, by miles, match of the night.
Great start, great finish, great everything. All round, heavily recommend this match. Out of the entire show.
Jesus H. wept. I agree with, I believe it was... I've forgotten his bloody name. The one with the tattoo on his neck, the commentator. What's his name? I've gone blank.
Quite great.
You know, bloody bargain basement CM Punk. What's his name?
Corey Graves, you're on about.
Yes, I agree with him. My God, how does Montez Ford get quite such a height on that frog splash?
Yeah, I think even RVD could learn how to go to 6-star, 7-star.
Yeah, that was amazing. But anyway, that was a great match.
Yeah.
A bloody rare novelty based on everything so far. And then, unfortunately, we were brought smashing back down to earth by the next match.
The next match I thought wasn't too bad.
I don't think it was bad. I just think that 2 pay-per-view matches a year on the 2 shows they have in Saudi Arabia and bugger all else isn't really preparing Mansoor in the way that WWE would like him to be ready.
Let me just state this. Right. Earlier, we had R-Truth, who had actually had more time on a pay-per-view and more screen time than he's actually had all
in the
year
last 4
round than
years.
actually being on the actual TV as the 24/7 champion, maybe?
Yes. And now we have Mansoor, who has had, in this one match, more pay-per-view time than he's had NXT television time or matches, because he is officially still an NXT superstar in all of the time since the last event.
Yeah.
Which comes in at 1 pay-per-view match, 0 seconds on NXT.
Oh no, he has been on NXT.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. He had 1 match the week after he beat Cesaro last time out, and then he disappeared again.
Yeah. Now,
And
what
so,
I don't get
yeah,
is they've actually got somebody legit who can wrestle in Mansoor.
yes.
I am actually a fan of his damn work.
The guy is technically sound, exciting, and potentially a huge future prospect. And they won't even
chance.
feature him on NXT. I'd
And
rather
yet,
keep giving Raul Mendoza and bloody Kona Reeves squash matches and
and yet,
logic.
Mansoor comes out to full pyrotechnics.
Yeah.
Right. And all I'll say is, I'm sorry, I am going to have to reference something that we're going to be talking about later. Really.
But, yeah.
You know that Saudi Arabia have probably put, the budget has probably gone on to Mansoor more so because of where he's from.
Yeah.
Because he had more fireworks than fricking Brock Lesnar and Goldberg.
Yeah, and now he's going to disappear off WWE TV for another 6 months.
Yes.
Logic, no, doesn't exist in this particular alternative reality. Also, the ball statistics are Dolph Ziggler must be getting bored of bumping around the ring like a maniac who doesn't want to have a neck anymore for everyone and anyone, because he didn't even do that convincingly anymore.
Dolph Ziggler lost to Mansoor after 9 minutes and 20 seconds, basically putting over Mansoor, which is fine. We know why, but Mansoor can actually legit wrestle. And give him mic time as well, straight after, saying thank you for being here, thank you for showing support, and went off. And then the next match happened.
And then right, let's just put it this way, shall we?
You started.
Roman Reigns defeated Baron Corbin in a steel cage match to finally put an end to the interminable bullshit feud. Right, moving on.
No, go back.
Oh, wait, no, hang on. I blinked and missed the match in between. Sorry.
Yes. You blinked.
I did. I blinked and I missed the whole match.
Yeah.
I saw the brilliant
Wait. Before you get onto it, this match was so short. It was 1 minute and 30 seconds. And you think, a squash match? Which match is this?
You're thinking, oh God, have they shortchanged Bayley again?
No.
And the answer, refreshingly, is no, not this time.
Huh?
Yeah.
So what match have we got? Which match has been...
Oh, it's not anything important. It's only for that, pre-show warm-up title, the WWE Championship. Nothing important.
Yeah. Right. The hype-up video.
Oh, I saw that. I saw the hype video. That was amazing.
Great.
That put a rocket under Ricochet. Absolutely sent him to the moon. Played him up as the underdog who potentially really could beat the big bullying bastard.
Brock Lesnar.
And then the bell went, and 1 minute and 30 seconds later, we all thought, great day's work, WWE video editing team, but why the fuck did you bother?
It makes it even worse. It makes this even worse. In the hype video, you got people saying, Brock's going to kill Ricochet. Game over. He's an for Lesnar. And then Ricochet going, I'm going to prove my doubters wrong.
And then Ricochet proved them so right that, frankly, I'm thinking he probably regretted however much the custom gear he got made for the match cost him, because it was probably more than he got paid for that clusterfuck.
Yeah, or if he's been paid extra. I hope it's enough.
I hope it's enough, I really do. But anyway, yeah.
Anyway.
The less said about that, the better. Anyway, and then... after that...
that was the Roman Reigns match against King Corbin.
Reigns defeated Baron Corbin in a steel cage match and drew a line, finally, under their interminably boring load of bollocks feud. And let's not talk about that right next. We had the first ever...
No. We've got to go back.
Why?
I've got to cover my rant on it.
Oh, okay. Seriously, I didn't want to go any further on it because I was vaguely aware that the soapbox may be starting to get polished to the point where it's wearing away. But okay, you've got a rant which will probably trigger something in my memory, which means afterwards I'll probably need as well. Right, take a deep breath, Matt Burns, rant away. Right.
We've got Roman Reigns versus King Corbin in a steel cage match, basically going back and forth. Yes, oh no, how many fights can these pair have where, it gets put end of? Last pay-per-view, they had a big massive brawl, falls, falls count anyway, we can, street fight and everything, blah, blah, blah. Roman Reigns wins. Yay! We thought it's the end of the feud. No, it wasn't. Then they go to SmackDown. And then they have a match where loser gets dumped in dog food, which is what the feud was entirely all about.
Yes.
And guess what? We thought it was over then. And guess what? It isn't.
Was it? Boo. No. They've got to go on pay-per-view one more time.
One more time. And are you ready for this?
To bring out the steel cage.
Right. And then they get a steel cage. And to make it even worse right now.
What?
I don't think they'll be done yet.
Are you kidding me? Of course they're not done.
Won't be done yet.
Of course they're not done. If WWE had their way, it would literally be an Elimination Chamber match where Roman Reigns had to face off against Corbin and 4 of his friends in essentially a 5-on-1 handicap match, which Roman Reigns would somehow still win. And then it still wouldn't be done because they'd come up with some convoluted bullshit to clog up WrestleMania, at which point everyone would literally be begging for something to put in their mouth to blow their brains out to end this madness.
Right. There we go.
I wasn't planning a rant, but Jesus, that one just kind of came organically.
Right, let's get back to the event, because yes, steel cage match, Roman Reigns defeated King Corbin after 12 minutes and 50 seconds.
Of your life, which you will never get back.
Which went, what makes it so stupid with this match is, yes, we've seen this go back, oh, yes, it's high, it's high. It was so boring.
Third longest match on the card, out of including the pre-show 10 matches. That's how ridiculous it was.
That's including the matches, wasn't it?
Including the pre-show, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. What's up next?
Oh, no, I lie. Sorry. Second longest match on the card, including the pre-show.
Third.
Second. Oh, no, third. Sorry. Yeah, third. Next was, in my opinion, match of the night. So low was the bar set.
You thought this was match of the night? No, I thought the tag team one was.
Well, no, I just thought that basically because they turned up and had a functioning match and there were no moments where you watched it and went, oh, well, they fucked that up. It's basically one match of the night.
I thought the tag team match was match of the night, the Raw one.
No, fair point.
But I thought what they did in the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship match was genius because they actually used the situation
to their advantage, which proves that just occasionally logic does permeate through into WWE universe because of the fact that they were in Saudi Arabia, which meant that they had to wear full bodysuits and t-shirts, to which Bayley used to her advantage to hook the heel of Naomi's glowing trainers in the t-shirt and basically render her unable to move.
Yep.
In order to execute a submission victory.
Yes.
Which, for that creativity alone, is the reason why I thought it was match of the night.
That's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, which I'm fine with.
Indeed. Right. And then we have the, in inverted commas, main event. Ladies and gentlemen, Bray Wyatt is doomed in WWE.
Are you going first or shall I?
No, I insist. After you.
Right. I was fine with this match. Looking forward to this match. And they killed it. And when I say killed it, I don't mean, oh, they knocked it out the park.
No, you mean they literally took it, laid it down in front of you, and stabbed it with a garden fork until it slowly bled to death, and made you watch, and told you couldn't take your head away, and then rammed your head into the bleeding corpse, and made you sniff it, and basically then stabbed it again just for good measure, and then made you body slam the corpse. That's how badly they killed it.
I think that would have been more entertaining. Yeah.
I'd just be grateful I didn't say what I was originally going to say to finish that little rant.
That's why I thought to squeeze it in there and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, this
Basically,
match was
abysmal.
garbage.
It was less than 5 minutes. It was
It
basically
was
3 minutes.
bell to bell.
Yeah. So basically, Goldberg is now defeated the Fiend, Bray Wyatt.
In less than 3 minutes.
In less than 2 minutes,
The Fiend, who, by the way, has been trying until this match spectacularly and irreversibly undid it all to build an aura as an unstoppable monster that doesn't actually feel anything anyone does to him ever.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. And then, on top of that, what was that Goldberg won the match with? Because it sure as fuck wasn't a jackhammer. I appreciate Bray's a big lad and Goldberg's 53, but come on. Seriously.
They're calling it the jackhammer finish.
Yes. Oh, another question and an aside to which you can ponder, Matt Burns, while I rant. Why are WWE tripping over themselves to throw big matches, accolades, and championships at 53-year-old Bill Goldberg
I actually have an answer.
when they could not give 35-year-old Bill Goldberg at the peak of his physical health in 2004 the time of fucking day? Is it just me that just has a logic fail on that front? What is going on there?
Right, you want the reason why Goldberg beat Bray Wyatt? Why WWE have gone for Goldberg over Bray Wyatt?
For the reason that they think Goldberg will draw better at WrestleMania, I would imagine.
Part of it. Are you ready for this? This is going to hurt.
No, I will never be ready for this, but just get it out anyway, because you've got to tell me.
Right.
I'm sat down, I've braced myself as much as I can.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, basically, the Fiend Bray Wyatt, me personally, I actually thought that Bray Wyatt should have been nowhere near the WWE Universal Championship, anywhere near it yet. Unfortunately, WWE backed themselves into a corner with the whole Seth Rollins feud against him and basically just had to put the title on him because they got him over, and then basically because he was the champion, they basically shot him straight through the cannon, straight to the ceiling, and forgot to put the fucking damn well elevator and stairs to let him come back down.
I personally had no problem with that,
Right?
but
No. So
you carry on.
The only way that they were going to have to do this was have Bray Wyatt come crashing down. So I thought to myself, WrestleMania is going to be when they're going to do it, when they go Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns, and we know how that was going to end. The crowd, Roman Reigns wins. Boo from the crowd.
Yes.
As you know, right? And instead, we didn't get that. We ended up getting Bill Goldberg beating Bray Wyatt with some boos, which also, by the way, Bill Goldberg turned up on SmackDown and had a mixture of cheers and boos, which he looked confused and just carried on and just said the line. He said the line! But anyway, let's carry on. Do you know the reason why Goldberg was actually picked over Bray Wyatt? The Fiend, Bray Wyatt?
No, I genuinely don't, and I don't think I will understand it for as long as you tell me.
Profit.
Because Bray Wyatt doesn't shift as many T-shirts.
No, profits, marketing, and the fact that Goldberg can actually turn up to other fucking networks.
Because Bray Wyatt doesn't sell anywhere near as many T-shirts as Goldberg, and Goldberg can go on... listen to me date myself. I was going to say Jay Leno. Crap American chat shows and not have to be in character and therefore not weird everyone out and therefore not give WWE bad rep just by virtue of staying in character, which you would have thought he'd got brownie points for.
Which I think you're referring to when Bray Wyatt did it and he did the whole... Yeah. That's basically the reason why Goldberg's been picked over Bray Wyatt for the Fiend.
Yes.
So rumoured, supposedly.
There was me thinking that the Fiend Bray Wyatt was finally going to get a long and uninterrupted title run with the WWE Universal Championship, which would be interrupted around about SummerSlam by the start of a feud with the, up until that point, utterly dominant and unbeatable Intercontinental Champion,
Yep.
Braun Strowman, which would culminate in WrestleMania in 2021 being a repeat of WrestleMania 6, whereby it was champion versus Intercontinental Champion, winner takes all, and Strowman would triumph and finally win the big one. Wyatt, having had an 18-month title reign, proved everyone wrong, proved his point, and could walk off into the sunset, basically never having to do another damn thing because his legacy was set. But no. Why would they possibly actually put the wheels under Bray and keep him going and build him up into anything other than an oddball sideshow who just happened to have lucked his way into the big title fucking twice now, and then they took it out from under him before he could actually do anything with it. And at this point, his stock is lower than that of fucking anyone you can name who only ever appears on Superstars.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think I'm finished now. I've taken a deep breath.
Oh, I guess we're going to have fun in a minute.
Really? What, are you going to tell me that you've got a rant that can top that?
Yeah. Potentially.
3, 2, 1, away we go. Let's hear this.
Right. And this is... Now, we've done the entire card.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Let's move over to SmackDown.
Main event. Oh, good Lord above, no.
Well,
actually, are you trying to tell me that this wasn't enough of a clusterfuck and that the tidal wave of shit lapped over into weekly television as well?
Right. What makes it even more funny is, before we even get to SmackDown, we've got to get to Baron Corbin.
Do we have to?
Yes, we do. Apologies for the slight noise in the background.
Yeah, Matt Burns went under a bridge. He'll be with you again shortly.
No, it sounds like thunder, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, fun.
Right, I believe that would be a clip that's playing for some unknown reason, when it shouldn't be.
Ladies and gentlemen, please talk amongst yourself while Matt Burns tries to find what it is. And, he's fixed it. We are good.
I believe it was in regards to... Can you remember on The Bump recently? Have you heard of a YouTuber called Dr. Disrespect?
No. But then I am so out of touch with YouTube, I might as well be a 42-year-old in 2001 going, what's this LimeWire all you kiddywinks are talking about?
LimeWire.
Remember that? The sort of precursor to
go away.
Spotify.
Just no.
Yeah. Essentially, my point is I'm out of touch and I don't do YouTube. So please fill me in.
Right. Basically, I'm just trying to get this muted as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I understand that. That's why I threw in the random LimeWire reference as an attempt to try and make you just sort of have something else to think about. Okay, good. We're muted. It's all good again. Yes. Essentially, I'm out of touch. Therefore, I don't know what YouTube is. I know what YouTube is. I just don't follow any of it. So please keep me informed.
My mistake. It wasn't YouTube. It was actually a video from Twitch.
It might as well have been YouTube for how much I know what the hell that is. Did you say tout?
No, Twitch.
Nobody remembers tout either.
Wait, the streaming service that Impact Wrestling got kicked off because of RVD and his scandalous recent issues that he did recently. Anyway, let's move on before because we're not going back to that. Anyway, do Undertaker sends Dr. Disrespect a warning because Dr. Disrespect has been stating on, had a clip of him on The Bump saying he is scouting, he is covering the universe. He wants to find the next talent.
Talent for what? Or is that not relevant?
Supposedly for wrestling. Supposedly.
Right, because you can do that on the internet.
Wait.
Just ask WWE, because Tough Enough was always such a roaring success.
Using quite ridiculous graphics that Dr. Disrespect has been probably been paying for separately for himself. And this is what's been stated, and this is from WrestleZone, by the way. The Undertaker sends Dr. Disrespect a warning. During a recent stream on Twitch, popular streamer Dr. Disrespect received a very strange warning after some weird errors on the stream. Dr. Disrespect investigated and found a message from none other than the legendary WWE superstar The Undertaker, warning Dr. Disrespect that he has no patience for him and that WWE is his domain.
Really? The Undertaker is from the pre-internet generation. Was that message really from him? Because I'm seriously doubting that.
I am looking it up as we speak.
I am seriously doubting that. I kind of think it's a little bit like how, certain famous people in positions of power in the world today, naming no names, who put out 2 or 3 sensible, well-worded, correctly spelt, coherent tweets that were obviously written by their representatives and handlers in amongst the barely coherent childish gibberish that they put out when left to their own devices. Someone else clearly wrote that and then attributed it to The Undertaker. Or at least that is my opinion, and not necessarily the opinion of Matt Burns or The Burning Truth. I would just like to point that out.
Right. Right. Are you ready for this?
No, but go for it anyway.
Right. Anyway, we've got that down, right? Now,
Yep.
We've got to cover another bit of interesting news, which is involving boxing.
Oh no, hang on. You haven't concluded this story yet.
It was
So
basically
in inverted commas, Undertaker sent this message. How did he respond?
It was a video, audio of the Undertaker with his symbol in the background, not actually him physically appearing on Dr. Disrespect.
Right.
Sending the message, and pretty much Dr. Disrespect probably just like. I had to mute it so I couldn't actually see what was being said or how he responded. It just looked like he just ran.
What, like he was like, oh my god, I'm dropping this like a hot brick and running because lawsuit ahoy. Yeah.
Right. Now, we've got to... Now, the next piece of news, which is for the actual, Super Showdown, involves Baron Corbin. But before we get to there, we've got to mention some news regarding some boxing.
Well, we do have to mention that we do have a new
lineal
world irrelevant nonsense 17th consecutive different title champion. The one title that they found in the bottom of a broom cupboard that won't fit around Anthony Joshua's waist or shoulders, so someone else had it.
It was the one that he didn't win. It's the one that Deontay Wilder's had. It's the one that I believe the other Klitschko had for a while. But Deontay Wilder ended up winning with his bombs of punches, and he ended up facing off against the Gypsy King Tyson Fury, who has been linked to WWE.
Who has been linked to return to WWE, but I'm guessing that's on hold now.
Possibly, but he could still make an appearance. But he defeated Deontay Wilder.
Yes. Now, handing out a first defeat to Deontay Wilder and making him look utterly pedestrian in the process.
Now, if anybody had watched the actual event, the Super Showdown, and saw Baron Corbin's entrance...
On the stupid sedan chair, yes.
They might have actually noticed his grand entrance was copying the Gypsy King.
You see, they may well have done that. And do you think, this being WWE and all, and subtlety not really being their strong point, this was deliberate?
Yeah, it is. Potentially. But the difference is there is one difference.
And what would that be?
It's guys who are carrying it.
Who was carrying it?
For Tyson Fury, it was strong women, but I think it was on a more of a belt, not actually being lifted.
Oh, I see. Okay, I'm with you.
Possibly.
I think.
But anyway, so you think they borrowed from just the Gypsy King?
Let me guess. The liberal use of other people's ideas didn't stop there.
Nope. Baron Corbin borrowed from Dante Wilder.
Sorry, hold on. Hit the brakes. The man he was about to fight stole some of his ideas before he fought him.
No.
In the same fight.
No. I'm referring to Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin stole ideas from the Gypsy King, which is the entrance, and he borrowed from Dante Wilder.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry. I'm with you now. I misunderstood. I thought you were saying that Tyson Fury borrowed from Deontay Wilder. No, Baron Corbin did. Okay, what did he borrow?
He borrowed the entrance from Tyson Fury and from Dante Wilder. Baron Corbin is taking an excuse from Dante Wilder. Corbin blames the toll his entrance gear took on him as the reason he lost to Roman Reigns at WWE Super Showdown.
Legendarily crap. Why am I not surprised?
No, that is the actual excuse that Dante Wilder came out.
Yeah, no, legendarily crap. Yeah. But therefore, WWE would have latched onto it like you wouldn't believe. Yeah, of course they would.
And I'm not kidding you. I've actually seen the tweet myself from Baron Corbin WWE, which he got the name The King. I'm never going to take anything away from Roman Reigns' preparation for a main event steel cage match. I was prepared, but I didn't think the toll my entrance gear, the chainmail, my robe, and the entrance would take on my body. 3 minutes in, my legs were tired.
Oh, dear me.
Jesus wept.
What's that galloping over the horizon towards this conversation? Oh, yeah, it's a crock of horse shit. Special delivery to Mr. Corbin.
No, but Corbin's doing that to mock Dante Wilder.
Yeah, of course, but that, it was a shit idea when Wilder said it, so you can claim imitation, flattery, mockery, or whatever you like. It's still an even shitter idea to copy it.
However...
Yes?
Let's get down to SmackDown.
Oh, God, you haven't finished?
Let's get to SmackDown.
Do go on.
Ratings are up for SmackDown.
On the basis that they had to essentially go up eventually because they couldn't really get any lower.
Right.
Without nobody watching.
You actually beat the previous weeks, basically. But anyway, I'll just speed this up now because this is going to be a horrible situation I'm going to have to cover. I've got a lot to cover. Right.
We need to get it covered, and we've already gone on longer than we intended, so yeah, I'll just let you get on with this.
Right, on SmackDown, we basically got Goldberg coming out going, right, I am the champion. Who's, doesn't matter about what happened then, doesn't matter about the now, why it was then. I need to know who's next. Sound like he's making an open challenge for Roman Reigns, walk down, I'm next. And that was basically, no one came out to address the situation. They just looked at each other, left the ring, and that's how...
So, yeah, no one came down and made it official or anything like that. No, just...
Instead, we just got Michael Cole later on in the night saying, oh, look, title card! Match card! With the graphics, and there it is. Roman Reigns versus Goldberg. Spear versus spear, potentially.
Wonderful.
Right. One oopsie.
Yep. Let me guess. The other one's bigger.
I've got to address a lot here in regards to SmackDown.
I tell you what, I'll try my best not to interject with sarcastic witticisms. I will just let you go through this, and then I'll try and succinctly add my own questions afterwards if I can keep it to a bare minimum.
We've then got Bayley coming out saying, oh, she's the best, she's the champ, and having Naomi come out saying, nope, blah, 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 indicating that they're not done yet. Yes, thank God. Thank God they're not doing that yet. Right, so instead of that happening, she just goes, yeah, whatever. I'm just going to reintroduce my best friend, Sasha Banks, who's returning.
Again.
Okay. Then they had a rematch of, Super Showdown, at which point, halfway through the match, you then got Sasha Banks, who pretty much jumps in the match and jumps Naomi 2-on-1.
Okay.
And then we have a save.
Hang on, a save from Naomi, for Naomi.
Yep.
By... I'm never going to guess this, am I? Just tell me.
Lacey Evans.
Of course it was. Of course.
Right, so that match, that was originally planned to be one-on-one, that ended abruptly, then got restarted as a tag match.
Is Teddy Long booking SmackDown again?
No! I'm not even getting to the finish of it yet.
Go on.
Naomi then, basically Naomi gets a big beat down, gets beat up all throughout the match. Lacey Evans comes in, makes the hot tag, boom, 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 boom. Look like I'm gonna beat the champ. Nope, Naomi gets the win.
Of course she does. Which gives Naomi the, what do you call it? The rematch, because I presume she pinned the champ to get the rematch.
Yes.
Naturally. So Lacey Evans basically interjected in someone else's business for sod all.
Possibly. But a match hasn't been officially announced for them yet. We'll see.
Figures.
We'll probably see that next week if that actually occurs. Anyway, we then cut to potentially, I believe, there was a match involving Dolph Ziggler, but you got Thingy in the back, probably after, in the back, backstage locker room, Mandy Rose.
Yeah.
With her tag team partner,
Sonya Deville.
Yep. And Sonya Deville goes, "Oh, look, your man's looking good."
Referring to
Dolph Ziggler in regards to the whole segment that they did recently on Valentine's Day with her and Otis, because supposedly Otis got a text message from Mandy Rose saying that she was going to be late, and basically she never, he turns up, and she thought he wasn't turning up. He no-showed for Dolph Ziggler to walk in, start sitting down with her, and ended up having a date with her. For then Otis turn up and be heartbroken, which basically was just, really, pulling on that sympathy string for Otis.
Sounds like that was the idea. However, it did actually
occur. It did actually.
So did it actually work? Or...
Yes, it did actually work. It got fans feeling sorry for Otis, but at the same time, you can see the look on Mandy Rose's face is almost as though she was let down by Otis not being turned up. So there's a possibility of actually being wanted to be more so with Otis, and you can see the look on Deville's face, on Rose's face when Deville goes, "My man," as well. But then we go back to Otis. We go to Otis, who's upset. He doesn't feel ready. He doesn't feel hyped. And, Tucker pretty much just types him up saying, "Come on, Mandy Rose may not have your back, but, there's one team who's always got your back, the WWE Universe." And, Tucker, Otis pretty much turns around and says, "Give me a week. Let me get over it. I've got to get over this. I will be back next week." So, yes. So we could have a wrap-up for that. Personally, I think it's going to come out that Deville was the one who sent the message from Mandy Rose's phone. There's been interference stating that Mandy Rose should not be anywhere near Otis, blah, 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 and try to set up her and Dolph Ziggler all along.
Or alternatively, they'll do what WWE, fans of a certain disposition have wanted them to do all along.
What?
And it'll turn out that Ziggler was just there as a happy coincidence, and Mandy sent the text because she's the one. Sorry.
No.
Sonya sent the text because she's the one that's after Mandy. Come on, this is WWE. Don't tell me you don't think that's possible.
No, because they originally were going to do that angle, but they ended up burning it out and passing it over to, I believe, Liv Morgan, with, if I'm not mistaken,
What the Liv
Lana.
Morgan and
Lana.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
if you remember on Raw, which was just before Christmas, before the New Year, which was done quite thrown in.
Yeah, the
And
less said about that, the better. Anyway,
because if I'm not mistaken, I believe Sonya Deville was like, "Really, you going down this angle?" At that time. But anyway, let's get back onto what ended up being the absolute what the fuck are they doing? We then find out that Braun Strowman has got a championship match at WWE Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, I would just like to point out, by the way, we're not doing predictions for Elimination Chamber on this show because so far, Braun Strowman's match is one of 3 matches that's been announced on the card.
2. Yeah, it is one of 3 matches, but it's only 2 matches that are going to be in the Elimination Chamber, and this one isn't one of them. What I couldn't fathom in this one, they're doing a contract signing, right? Yep. Braun Strowman, supposedly versus Shinsuke Nakamura. You'd think in the contract it would be all, preordained, checked by both lawyers, both sides. No one could sneak anything in, could they?
Yeah, exactly. With the possible exception, Sami Zayn could interject himself in the match. Is he still Nakamura's hype man and voice and general irritant? Yeah, he could interject himself in the match. That's fine. As a not regular watcher of Raw or SmackDown, how did Cesaro end up in this match?
Sami Zayn is basically also watching over Cesaro as well.
Oh, okay.
As managing Cesaro as well.
Sami Zayn is now basically
supposedly
the guy for guys who can't talk.
Supposedly, the contract got changed in the ring by Sami Zayn to become a 3-on-1 handicap match.
Because that's legally binding.
And Braun Strowman saw it coming and signed it anyway.
Because he's Braun Strowman and there's nothing he likes more than
great
insurmountable odds.
Now,
I'll tell you what, Sammy, like I said, like I alluded to earlier, why don't you find 2 more willing guys who aren't very good on the mic who you can represent, and why don't we have a whole Elimination Chamber match, all 5 of you against Braun? Yeah? Why not?
What makes this even worse is the fact that, okay, it's a handicap match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. What actually fucking happens if Shinsuke, Cesaro, or Sami Zayn pins Braun Strowman?
Yes, exactly. Does whoever gets the pin win the title?
So basically, wouldn't that make it a fatal 4-way?
Yes, essentially.
No. I bet what WWE are going to do is, if they actually do that, they're going to actually make all 3 of them champions, a bit like when they had Chris Jericho and Chyna, the Intercontinental Champion, if you remember from the past. WWE
you mean they're going to Freebird for those under 40?
No.
New Day,
not
the title.
Freebird. Not Freebird. If you remember, both of them had to be in the match.
Yeah, the Freebird rule is the rule adopted and brought into the 21st century by the New Day, namely any 2 from 3 are the tag team champions on a given night.
But in this case, it's got to be all 3.
Is it going to be basically Nakamura, Cesaro and Zayn, or any 1 from 3 has to defend it, but they're all co-champions? Because that's not a stupid idea. Oh, wait, yes it is.
Oh, wait, that's one stupid idea. Oh, you got Braun Strowman beating all 3 of them!
Yes.
Oh, why are they doing this for Braun Strowman? Oh, wait. Probably because they dragged Braun Strowman straight through the mud, who, by the way, has now got a mullet. Or some kind of mohawk.
Yeah, no, has he? Because I know that he got a ridiculously vicious undercut and literally left himself with no hair, hardly, apart from the little rat tail at the back.
Yeah. It looks like a mohawk now, supposedly.
Dreadful.
Anyway.
Yeah, so that's pathetic. That's insane. That's madness.
Then
are we done?
Oh, no. I'm nowhere near done yet.
Well, we're going to have to speed things up because this is taking ages. But
yes,
right, on you
go. I know. Anyway, you've got Miz and Morrison who were celebrating, saying, "Yay, we are the best. We're the tag team champs. Yay!" But the Usos come down saying, "Nope, you ain't the best until you beat us." Blah, blah, blah. And then to have a referee come walking down.
Just casual as you like, just walking, no effort.
Walk over to the ring announcer and have the ring announcer announce that at Elimination Chamber, the WWE Tag Team Championship will be in a Elimination Chamber match, pitting The Miz and Morrison versus The New Day, Big E and Kofi Kingston versus The Usos, Jimmy J and Jimmy Uso versus Heavy Machinery, Otis and Tucker versus Lucha House Party, Grand Metalik and Lance Dorado versus Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode.
Sorry, he announced that in the middle of this whole Intercontinental title thing. A completely different match.
No, not the Intercontinental thing. This is when Miz and Morrison were celebrating being new champions.
Oh, I see.
Right,
that makes no sense. They've been champions minutes. They haven't had time to get one rival yet, never mind 5.
So, Jay and Jimmy are going to be up against The Miz and Morrison a bit later on. I've got to cover one match that also happened. Oh, Kofi Kingston versus Robert Roode. Who do you think would win? The former WWE champion.
Yes, every time. Well, in a world of logic.
Lost to Robert Roode, who has been losing left, right, and centre.
Who has been doing an almost OC level of big pile of nothing.
Yeah. I know.
Considering we're coming into WrestleMania, we're fundamentally on the road to WrestleMania. We're on WrestleMania season, supposedly the biggest show of the year. Why do WWE, and why have they every year for about what seems like the last 5 years, use WrestleMania as a concentrated dumping ground for all their shittest and stupidest ideas?
No idea. Now, take into account, so far, we've had these matches come up announced without no fucking authority figure confirming them or making the damn matches. No.
Does Raw even have a general manager / commissioner / whatever they call it these days at the moment? Is there one who can authorise it? Because I don't think there is off the top of my head.
McMahon, Stephanie, Triple H.
Well, yeah, technically, but they're supposed to not be taking up as much screen time, aren't they?
I'm just trying to think.
And also, no, not Triple H, because he's in charge of NXT, so those streams don't cross.
True.
In short, just another thing to which the response is, this is WWE. We don't have a clue. Don't be ridiculous.
No,
details. They're not important.
The point being is, we've got all this. And we're not even done yet. But anyway, let's push on because we've got to get on. Right? Because straight on after this, we then have The Miz versus John Morrison. No, Miz and Morrison versus...
I was going to say.
Miz and Morrison versus the Usos. In a tag team match. Non-title match. Who do you think goes over?
Well, this is a non-title match, and based on everything we've said tonight, I'm guessing not the newly crowned tag team champions.
Yes, who have been champions for less than 24 hours.
Yes. And have already lost their first match as champions.
Yeah, get this one out. By the Usos doing a top rope Canadian Destroyer and a Uso splash.
Really?
Which Michael Cole's like, what the hell? I've never seen him do that before. Oh my God, I've never seen him do that before. What would you call it?
That sounds like a first-rate, premium grade. Somebody's forgotten that it's WrestleMania in 6 weeks, and oh my God, shouldn't they have saved that for that kind of moment?
Potentially, and at the same time, probably Vince is probably screaming down his ear saying, don't call it Canadian Destroyer, do not call it Canadian Destroyer.
Do we call it a Mexican Destroyer? A Samoan Destroyer?
I think they're going to probably
a Welsh Destroyer?
I don't care. It's just...
thoroughly diminished, bloody near-fall move?
You fall know WWE will probably call it a flip pile driver or something.
Probably.
Even though supposedly pile drivers are meant to be banned, supposedly.
Yes.
Anyway, back onto the subject. because I've still got the last cluster fuck to discuss.
Jesus, there's more?
John Cena.
By all accounts, thoroughly nice chap.
The
thoroughly retired, isn't he? What's he doing in this conversation?
No, he's not retired. Throughout the night, his footage of him from when he was, ruthless aggression man.
Yeah, to plug the show of the same name now airing on the WWE Network. Yes.
Which I do actually highly recommend everyone to check out, because I'll actually get onto that straight after this quickly. But anyway, highly recommend it. But anyway, John Cena comes out.
John Cena sucks. Yeah, all the usual.
All the usual. For Cena to turn around and say he won't be at WrestleMania. He is letting the guys fight out. He hasn't been around as much. He's getting, more deserving guys have been fighting for it. And everything. So he will not be at WrestleMania. You won't see him at WrestleMania because he won't be there. Yada yada yada. A heartfelt promo, which
yes,
I
perfectly sensible. To be applauded. Yeah,
and I was like, "Whoa, what's going on here? What is happening?" For him to walk up,
logic has prevailed. Yeah, dream on has it.
Lights go out. Bray Wyatt makes an appearance. John Cena, they got the camera behind, in front of Cena, trying to look a bit terrified, and have him turn around slowly towards the Fiend. For the Fiend then points at the WrestleMania sign, which was not a good look for him.
What, trying to be a normal superstar after he spent every month, pretty much, of the last 6 years of his career trying to repeatedly prove he's anything but?
Yeah. And how does John Cena respond?
By making that stupid hand gesture in front of his face that implies he's wanking someone off directly in front of their eyes then walking off.
Wait, you think after that heartfelt promo speech he just done about being not being at WrestleMania because stepping aside for the guys who've been doing so well, doing so hard, and this was
not this year,
and it's completely destroyed by him just tipping his hat and basically declaring that he's going to be at WrestleMania against the Fiend. So basically that entire promo was fucking undermined.
So what you're basically saying is John Cena's "I'm not going to be at WrestleMania" pledge lasted about as long as one of Mick Foley's retirements.
It lasted less time than when Cena was supposedly fired from the Nexus, by the Nexus.
Yeah, I remember. During which point he did every single live, non-televised show and genuinely didn't miss a single show. He just wasn't on Raw for about 2 weeks, just so they could vaguely pretend that he wasn't there at all.
Yes. So we've got that entire storm of it, whatever.
Yeah. What utter shittery.
And supposedly rumour has it that Otis could be against Dolph Ziggler at WrestleMania.
Really? Because nobody needs that.
Yep.
Is this going to be a sort of replay of back in the 80s, the whole Shawn Michaels versus Marty Jannetty thing from the Royal Rumble in the early 90s, where turns out that, she actually didn't want Otis anyway, and so tough luck, move along.
Oh, you mean a bit like when they did what they did with Chris Jericho, Christian?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, there is also the rumor of Edge making a return and basically also having a match against none other than Randy Orton, potentially making a big WrestleMania comeback. Great
no
match.
Offense to either guy, sure it'll be a great match, but neither of them needs another WrestleMania payday. Neither of them.
I actually think that would be a great match. Speculation that the Glamazon is going to be on Raw, making to cover the fact that an update in regards to Edge. There's rumour of her being involved, possibly teaming up with Natalia against the Kabuki Warriors at WrestleMania, or possibly at Elimination Chamber for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship.
Oh, someone in the WWE office has remembered they've got those, have they?
Yep, potentially, possibly. That's the only speculation.
Yeah, no offense to Edge or Randy Orton. You just know they both probably, on the basis of their careers, deserve one more payday and will do a stellar job at putting together an epic match. But it's WrestleMania. I'm sorry, but I'd rather have, Andrade, Aleister Black, Ricochet, any one of any other number of up-and-comers who otherwise probably won't get a match at WrestleMania this year, get the airtime instead of a couple of wily old veterans who, like I said, don't need the airtime and definitely don't need the payday.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe that on Raw we've also got Aleister Black versus AJ Styles on Raw.
Potentially interesting.
Yeah. And at some point that Seth Rollins is going to be against Kevin Owens and somebody else. Possibly. Anyway.
Oh joy.
Anyway. And you've also got the supposed, Rumble matches to go involved as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, after all that...
I think we're done. I think that's as much as we can say.
I'm leaving it there.
That's quite enough for 1 week.
All I'm going to say is, I do recommend you go onto the WWE Network and check out the Ruthless Aggression show.
Because that is actually pretty damn good.
And it actually gives you an insight into seeing it on how bad of a situation he actually was in. Seeing it almost got future endeavoured.
Yes, I remember. Before he came up with the rapper gimmick.
Yeah, basically
that basically saved his career.
And all I'll say to you is, and yet everyone remembers the Ruthless Aggression promo, and yet Cena sees that as a failure.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good plug for the show. Go watch it when we've finished. We're not going to be long now.
Which you can just go onto the WWE Network for just $9.99. Anyway, that is all for this week's episode. We are done. We're drained. That is all we're covering for this week. All I'm going to do now is just go through the plugs, which is please check out UKWA, also known as UK Wrestling Alliance. Please check out photography. The following photographers, which is Tony Knox, Jessica Servo Photography, Kay Swift Photography. We also recommend you check out Wrestling Academies like Manchester Pro Wrestling Academy, with beginner classes are on Monday, £10 per class, 9 p.m. till 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. For location details, check it out on their social media. Of course, we also recommend you check out Academy Pro Wrestling, which I believe that they have some classes usually on Fridays potentially. But for all details in regards to theirs, please check out their social media, of course. We also recommend you check out JFX3D for amazing custom-made championship belts, be it either for wrestling, boxing, or mixed martial arts. I will state I've had some work done by them recently, which is the UKWA Championship, which was debuted at the last UKWA show, Finest Hour, which is actually on Turnbuckle TV, which I'll get to later.
Yeah. Available now on Turnbuckle TV. Yeah, let's just put that in there.
Anyway, please, I want you to check out charities like Mind, Changes for Health and Wellbeing, Changes Recovery Radio, Messy for Mind, Donna Louise, and of course the Cancer Research UK. Absolutely all great charities. Highly recommend them. Please check them out, because the information that they do provide could prove useful, and the information could end up saving someone's life, either yourself or somebody else. You never know.
So give them a go.
We, of course, also expect, highly recommend you check out the lighter side of wrestling by checking out none other than Botchamania. You're welcome, Matthew. And, of course, WrestleCrap.
You're welcome, RD.
And, of course, OSW Review. You're welcome, OSW Review, lads. And we also recommend you check out formerly known as Geek of the Week, which is now known as Pull or Pass Radio Show, hosted by none other than Magic Mark Adams, where you can talk all things DC, Marvel, and all things nerdy.
Yep.
We, of course, also share out our love to fellow podcasters and broadcasters as such by checking out We the Independent, which is, who's on there?
Oh, now you've got me. David Starr.
David Starr, and of course, Mr. Sugar Duncanton with his Infinity, Indie Till Infinity segment on there, of course, and everything that goes on there. Amazing interviews on there. We also recommend you check out Train Pop Culture, where you can talk things, some things nerdy, some things movies, some things even just alcohol. Absolutely, which is on Podbean, absolutely amazing. We of course also recommend you check out Think Wrestling, especially the Talk Wrestling series, which is hosted by none other than Tom Baker. We of course also recommend you, also check out Favaluni, where it's party time all the time, but as they do party packages, soft play, bouncy castle, magic show, mini disco, face painting, glitter art, stilt walking, balloon modelling, balloon decorating, and fire and illusion shows. We of course also recommend you check out Kayfabe Music UK. Yes, they do actually do the entrance music, the custom entrance music for myself, which I do actually use, and of course the actual intro music, the actual theme music for the Burning Truth was done by them as well. Amazing, because I believe they just actually celebrated their birthday as well recently, which they even had a special offer on. We of course also got Turnbuckle TV, which is just for $3.99. They can get 30 to 40 plus wrestling companies, which, as we've already mentioned to you, our UKWA's latest show, Finest Hours, on there, of course,
amongst many others, and not only more shows by the 30 to 40 they already have, but more promotions being added all the time.
Damn right. And of course, as we have been on there with Turnbuckle TV as such, I want to massively say a big massive thank you to BA Productions, who actually did the actual recording for the Finest Hour show, as they did amazing work. And if you want to see how good their work is, check out our latest show. And
if you would like to help UKWA and join Turnbuckle TV into the bargain, you can do this with any promotion, but let's use UKWA as an example. You can sign up at turnbuckletv.com/UKWA, and if you do that, a small portion of the proceeds, the $3.99 a month, will go to the promotion in question. So you can do it with UKWA, you can do it with any of the other promotions if they're your favourite, and that not only keeps Turnbuckle TV going, but it helps keep your local indie promotion going as well.
Exactly, every little bit helps. And of course, we always recommend you check out your local wrestling show. Just case in point, United Wrestling, Pro Wrestling for You, Slam Wrestling, Academy Pro Wrestling, Future Championship Wrestling, Fusion Pro Wrestling, The Barracks,
Future Shock Wrestling, Wolf Run Pro Wrestling, PCW, ICW, Falling Star Wrestling, to name but a few.
Correct. And of course, there is some shows coming up for Pro Wrestling for You, for Pro Wrestling for You, for Wolf and Pro Wrestling, and of course, I believe, Academy Pro Wrestling, which I believe is on March the 7th. All three of them. But in case you are looking for any more local, even more closer promotion to yourself, there is an app that you can use on your phone, which is none other than Babyface Wrestling UK, which is a free app, and you can also follow
best price ever.
Exactly. You can follow your wrestlers on there. You can follow your wrestling companies on there. And I would massively appreciate if you followed UKWA on there and myself on there, of course. But at the same time, if you are interested, they do actually have some interesting articles on there as such as well. And it's absolutely a great app I would recommend everyone to check out. We also recommend you check out the Burning Truth website, which is www.theburningtruthuk.com, where you can, what's on there, of course. Follow us all on our social media, which is Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. We do have past episodes on Spotify, and if you do check out the links page, just understand that we cannot be held responsible for any external websites. And one more shout out, I will have to state this is for myself. If anybody is previously used to know, I used to have a website myself, which is was www.matt-burns.co.uk or .com. It is no longer in my ownership anymore. I have dropped that website. It is no longer in use. So hopefully I am possibly transferring a lot of my details in regards to if you are interested in Matt Burns merchandise, message me directly on my social media, or even send messages to the Burning Truth. I am possibly going to be transferring merchandise details in regards to the t-shirts and everything possibly over to the Burning Truth.
Epic. Awesome. I think that pretty much wraps everything up for this week.
That would be a wrap up for this week. So, as always, please stay well. We as always, we do recommend you all to stay well and stay safe, and we don't just mean that physically, we also mean that mentally. As you probably have guessed by now, we are a massive advocate of mental health.
Mental health being just as important as physical health.
And it is okay to be not okay. It
is not.
Just as long as, if you feel that you are an issue, don't be afraid to ask for help, because...
Yeah, it's okay to not be okay. It's not a cry for help to ask for help. Well, it is, but my point is, it's not a weakness.
It's not a weakness at all. Do not be ashamed ever to ask for any help. And in fact, on top of that, you could end up finding out you are more loved than you could ever even imagine. You could be more loved than you can ever realise, and find out that you have friends, family, colleagues who are going to be there to support you through, in your time of need.
So if you think you need it, do not be afraid to reach out. Yeah.
And of course, our social media, is probably going to be open. So if you need to even just talk, we've got our ears open. So if you want to talk about anything, we are here for you if necessary.
Awesome.
And with all of that now being said, of course, as always, we always recommend you all to stay well, stay safe, and of course, as always, please check out your local wrestling. Until then, we'll hopefully catch you next week if everything goes according to plan.
Yep.
And if anything does change, we'll probably update the social media and make you aware of it as soon as possible. But until then, we will catch you next week.
Thank you for listening, and good night.
Good night.